and welcome to my channel again. I am in here with a new picture that I've drawn, a cat. Imagine that, a cat. And this was a commission. This is a commission by a very good friend of mine, and it's of a cat, Julie. She's an absolutely stunning cat in real life, and I'm just really happy how this one turned out. So I decided to show a bit of my sketch process just because I really struggle with animals in general. And I'm just used to drawing female characters, not even humans in general, just female characters. And drawing a cat is something completely out of character for me, and I struggle a lot with it. One of the things I struggle though, and it's in general, it's not just related to animals, it's the eyes. I tend to get the eyes quite skewered, and I have to take pictures and rotate a lot to actually be able to actually figure out that the eyes are not correct. And I had to do the same with the cat, obviously. It just took me a while to get it right. But in the end, I think I got it. And I used blue mask for the first time. I bought it just for this picture, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use it later on, because I really enjoyed using it, and the effects that it created was absolutely amazing. So it stinks. At least the one I bought, I think it was a really cheap one, but it stinks a lot, but the effects are good, so it's worth it. And it allowed me to be way more relaxed when painting the background. I decided to go with a wet on wet background and using some salt on it. I decided that based on a challenge going on the DeviantArt group called Watercolorists. It's Aqua Salt Challenge, I believe. And I wanted to participate on it, so I'm using the salt. I struggled a little bit with salt this time. On my previous paintings, like a few years back, I used to put salt on it and it would create the effect right away, but it seems like the paper, the water is drying too fast, and when I put the salt on it, it actually doesn't change that much. So I have to put some water on top of it to actually create an effect. But it does create an effect at the end, so it does work. And it did give a very nice effect. I love the colors. I just mixed greens and blues and pinks and purples, and I loved it. For the cat itself, I decided to go like I did on my previous drawing. I decided to add a base layer of very light beige and then purple as the shadows. I do like painting the shadows first. I struggle with going from the base colors to the shadows. I prefer to do the shadows first and then going to the other colors. So despite adding a very light base color, I went straight for the purple. And that was a mistake. That was a real mistake, because on my previous painting, I used a lot of colors like oranges and, the skin tones. And in this one, the cat was supposed to be white. And I didn't mean that the cat would have purple shadows at all. And in the end, I managed to change the whole drawing to actually match it. But I couldn't change the purple, because there was no colors to add to it really. But, I think I really enjoyed the way it became at the end. And it worked out, and I love painting the eyes. I think the eyes were just stunning on this drawing. I'm really happy with how I got the eyes, and part of it was because of the blue mask, because I created those little specks in the eyes, and I was so relaxed when painting the rest of it, mixing the purple, the Payne's grey, the greens, the yellows, all the colors together, and then at the end I just scratched the blue mask, and it was amazing. I was so happy. It looked so realistic. As you know, I don't really paint realistic in itself, but I like to add certain details to it, and I was happy with the eyes. So I started painting the skin of the cat, the ears, the fur, quite nice shadows of brown. I used to mix the brown quite a lot. I used to mix all the colors, like make the exact color I wanted before adding it to the paper. But right now I am way more relaxed, and I use straight from the watercolor set, and then I add layers to create the color that I want. I'm not sure how good this is in long term, But so far it's been working, so that's what I'm doing. And I really like how it stays out. So I apply a light brown, there are more browns on top, on purples and oranges, and different colors really to create the tone that I really want. And as you can see, I started trying to erase a little bit of the purple here. So I used a little bit of the gouache that stayed from my previous drawing. I mixed it with water and a little bit of brown, and I applied it on top of the purple. And it managed to lighten up a little bit the purple. And that's because I tried first with just the outer color. Like I mixed a little bit of brown with water, lots of water, a little bit of brown, just to create a nice little beige. And I tried to apply on top of the purple, and I decided clearly that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. So I had to apply the gouache to actually erase a little bit of the color. And in the end, I think that panned out really well. It creates that beige purple that I actually enjoy. And I ended up applying more purple on top because I enjoyed how it came out. I kind of messed up on the fur on the right side, the ears, you know, the little fur coming out of the cat's head on the right side. They were way longer on my drawing, and when I was applying that golden color to the rest of the body, I totally messed up and it became quite short. That created such a huge problem for me at the end because I tried to change it because I really didn't enjoy how it came out, and I only noticed it at the end. But I'll come to it at the end, really. And that golden color I applied to the body of the cat? No. So Julie is actually white, but on the picture it seemed golden, and I was like, yay! I'm just painting, and it looks golden. I'm just gonna paint golden. It's actually nice. No, Julie's white, but the owner of the cat is happy, so she still accepted the commission the way it is, even though I tried later on Photoshop to add a bit more white onto it. And so she preferred the original one, and the original one is the one I said. I just added some artistic, ideas onto it, which I'm gonna be, try not to do anymore. But it really looked golden on the picture, and I'll show a comparison at the end of the photo I had and the commission that I did. So in here I'm just applying like several colors, like golden, yellows, orange, and brown, different shades of brown to the body of the cat, doing some shadows and trying again to erase that purple a little bit. Started finally painting the flower. I really loved how the flower came out. I wanted a white lily, and I went through so many colors to make it white. I went through greens, oranges, yellows, pinks, browns, greys, but at the end I'm really happy with how it came out. I even applied those little specks of olive green that I applied at the end, and then I always went to the tissue afterwards just to take a little bit of the color off. And I loved how it came out in the end. I've got no idea. But at this point I was trying to to fasten up a little bit. I really wanted to finish the picture because I was enjoying it so much. And when I painted the stems from the plant, they kind of blended in with the rest of the picture, and I didn't want that. It wasn't supposed to happen, but I was just so happy with it. I went a little bit too fast, and the colors mixed up with the rest of the flower a little bit. But in the end I managed to get it together a little bit more with the colored pencils. So as you can see, I'm trying to lengthen the fur of the cat's head, sorry. And I started with white gouache, doing the hairs on the cat, and I just loved how they came out. I just love the effects on the little hairs, the little white hairs and whiskers. I loved it. I mixed it on a whim, so I used a little bit of the white beige that I had for the rest of the body, but I just loved how it came out. And I had to do it like that because I had to let it dry the rest of the fur before I painted on top again, because obviously it had so many washes, the paper wasn't holding it very well. And at the end, even after I dried it a little bit with my hairdryer, I just had to use colored pencils to do it, because the paper just wouldn't absorb any more watercolor, and it would get way worse if I just tried to apply. So I started using my colored pencils, as you can see, you know, just to add some details, and most of all to do some details on the right side of the cat's head, to try and make the hairs a little bit more bigger. And I think it worked out quite well. As you can see, I don't really have a set of colored pencils. I use the ones that I used to use as a kid. And, you know, they still work. They might not be the best ones, but they do work. And right now I'm not in a position to buy a new set. I'm looking at ones from Faber-Castell, but not yet. I'm gonna do it at the end, I guess. You know, when I'm a bit more proficient at this. And obviously at the end, using my sepia and black Faber-Castell pens, you know, just to add some details, so darken some areas out. And I really, really enjoy how it came out. The cat just looks stunning, in my opinion, that I'm not used to drawing cats. And that's about it. Here's the comparison of the picture, as you can see. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked, and if you did, please click like and subscribe, and you know, just keep waiting. I have another digital painting on the making, and I will publish the video as soon as I have it done. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye, see you later.